said, what am I supposed to do? And immediately, when I say immediately, I mean within seconds, a commercial came across the TV. It was a Cortiva Massage Therapy Institute of Chicago, because I am from Illinois. I called, went to the school, and I walked in. I felt good. I said, okay, this is for me. This is my calling. It felt good.
Welcome to Rooted and Rising, where we focus on becoming whole through the mind, body, and spirit together. My name is Lamisa, and my guest today is Sacred McEwen from Divinity Massage and Oasis Spa. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Sacred, did you always know wellness was your calling, or was there a pivot moment that set you on this path?
There was a hard pivot, such a hard pivot. I thought that I would be a culinary arts professional, cooking inside of the game boxes at different types of sports games and a private chef. So my first major was culinary arts and hospitality management, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I wasn't happy. So then I transitioned to fashion design and fashion merchandising. And it was I felt resistance. So because I kept feeling resistance, I'm like, this isn't for me. I literally prayed. I said, what am I supposed to do? And immediately, when I say immediately, I mean within seconds, a commercial came across the TV. It was a Cortiva Massage Therapy Institute of Chicago, because I am from Illinois. I called, went to the school, and I walked in. I felt good. I'm like, this is where I am supposed to be. And the teacher validated it as well at the end of the first day. She pulled me to the side and she said, I don't know you. I barely know your first name. Okay. She said, I had a dream about you. You are supposed to be here. You are a Scorpio. Your birthday is between November 9th and November 11th. My birthday is November 9th. I said, okay, this is for me. This is my calling. It felt good. Like I felt amazing. So I'm like, I know the path of least or less or no resistance is the one that we should follow. And I didn't know at the time, but I follow what felt good.
You've changed your name from Kelly to Sacred.
hmm
What does stepping into that name, Sacred, mean for you personally and
hmm
spiritually?
During Hurricane Harvey, because I moved to Houston when I was 22. So during Hurricane Harvey, 2017, I was sitting outside. One of my friends in the back, she had like this back bar area, and I was sitting there looking around, and the entire earth seemed like at the time it was just going to shambles. I'm like, I've never experienced a hurricane before. Throw me in a blizzard, I'm okay. But the hurricane, it was raining 24/7 days, day after day after day. And I'm like, this has to be something prolific. And I heard sacred. When I heard the word sacred, I feel like that was God calling me sacred and not just, well, naming me sacred and not just saying like you are sacred. So, because I never felt like a Kelly, it didn't feel right for me when people said it. I cringed every time. Like it's still to this day when I hear it, I cringe. So sacred feels right. It is right. It sounds right. It's who I am. I feel like my walk here is sacred. I was put on this earth to help people heal, to grow, to expand, to break boundaries. I'm the one who will press an issue and be okay with saying the things that other people will not, because I know in order to be, well, in order to grow, we must first feel uncomfortable, because when we are comfortable, we don't really grow as much as we can, because sitting on a pillow feels better than doing 2,500 crunches. Okay.
You talked about relocating from
hmm
Houston during Tropical Storm Harvey
hmm
to San Antonio. Built an award winning spa for the ground up.
Yes.
How did you find courage to start over in a new city?
Okay. I cannot fail. It's not in my life path. It's not. It's not for me. It's not written within anything that I do. I don't subscribe to it, never will. Anything that I courage to. So the courage came because A, I knew this was for me. I first started my journey in Houston with working alongside of another business owner. I put my business name to the side, which was Divine Kneading at the time. Divine Eating, grew into Divinity Massage and Oasis Spa. I was working alongside another person and we were building together. So during that time, I think I was 23 to 27, I learned more business tactics. I failed often, failed hard, kept on going. And it taught me that I was resilient and resourceful enough and persistent enough to know that I had the ability and the courage to, I guess, to build on the foundation of me wanting to be an entrepreneur. We're going to just say relieved. I have relieved myself of so many different jobs just because it didn't feel right. So the long story short, I did not feel that I could fail. And that instantly gave me the boost to try new things, to go bigger, to charge what other people are afraid to charge, to offer services that people are like, oh, you'll be crazy to offer this service. I watered that seed. So I encourage any business owner that feel like that they're not going to be successful to look at themselves in a mirror and wake up every day and say, I got this, I can do it, I am profitable, but then to also know their numbers, right? Because if you don't know how much you're bringing in or how much you're spending, then you could potentially fail just because business is, of course, strategy. It's like you need to know on both ends, like metaphysical and physical ends, okay? So spiritual ends and grounded ends, like from the flesh and above, you need to know, like, okay, if I'm opening up a coffee shop, I need to know first how much coffee I'm buying, so how much product I'm putting in there, who is my vendor, right? Because if I don't know my vendor and I'm going to the store, I'm already like buying things at an inflated rate when I can go to somewhere else and get it a little bit cheaper. My groundedness and security came from let me wake up every single day and affirm myself and believe in myself because what you believe will manifest within your life.
You describe every client experience as a custom
Mhm.
and unrepeatable. Why is that personalized approach
Mhm.
so important to you?
Mhm. Because everyone is different, right? So if I treat client A like I treated client B or client Z as I did A through Y, then I'm not truly listening to my customer. I'm on autopilot. So when someone comes in, I know that listening to what they need is important, right? And then I go beyond just listening with my ears. I listen with my entire existence, my eyes, because sometimes a client may say they need facial for active acne or really oily skin. Sometimes in that process, it's not that the client has oily skin, the client may have excessive dry skin, which is producing more oil. So when you come in and you say to me, I'm tired, okay, or my back hurts, I'm also thinking like, okay, why does your back hurt? Okay, what type of job do you do? Are you stressed? Are you yelling? All of these great things. So now when I'm doing your treatment, I custom tailor that treatment to give you the best results. I'm very result driven. I'm not going to do anything for anyone if I feel like it's not going to be successful. I will recommend them to go somewhere else, or we pivot and find something that works for each person. Like every time you come to me, your massage will be better, or your facial, or your manicure, or your pedicure, or your sound therapy, whatever type of service, because I get to know you.
You wear several hats, some being a nail technician, energy practitioner, massage therapist, and spiritual coach. How do you pour into so many others while still protecting your own wellness?
Okay, so I make time for me. Also, I see everyone as a reflection of myself. So I know while I'm pouring into me and pouring into others, it's all a part of the collective consciousness, right? Because it's just like when people say it takes a community, it's the truth. And Michael Jackson also said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, I'm asking him to change his ways. So I know if I'm providing this energetic balance or clearing for somebody else, I'm first doing it for myself. I'm making sure I'm doing my yoga. I recently struggled with binge eating for the last 3 years, but it's because I had put so much energy into maintaining things for others, which is why I did take the time to like look in and say, hey, you can't work 7 days a week for 5 years straight. So now I take my Tuesdays, okay? When I feel encouraged to leave, I leave as long as, I balance my schedule. I make sure that I am feeling good. I do my check-ins and I say, how is your energy today? How do you feel today? And most of the time I feel good. It's very seldom when I do not. And if I let's just say I have a moment where I do not feel good, I allow myself to experience it, but I pull out of that. I also make sure my spa feels good, constantly keeping it clean. I'm so meticulous. If it's a little bit of sand or salt for making salt scrubs, I'm picking it up, sweeping, I'm mopping. So I know it's like, when your space is clean, when it feels good, when it smells good, when it is good, you do feel good. Currency or energy is a currency, it's an exchange, right? Energetic exchange. I do not give more than what I have or what I'm able to give. So if I know I have a full schedule for the next, let's just say 7 days of clients, I know it's time to ground, to balance, drink my tea, to meditate, to make sure like I'm in good spirits. Because when someone is greeted with a smile, they tend to smile back. I keep my balance. And when I'm balanced, I'm able to balance others because I also am a client of my own.
For someone who's never experienced energy work,
Yes.
how would you explain why healing the energy body is just as important as healing the physical body?
Okay, I love that question. Let's say the body is an avatar, right? So we are also technology, but we're technology made out of skin, bones, and fleshly working parts. So with the energetic body and with a mechanism or, let's just say an avatar, right? Or an android, right? If you have this android, because of course they're making mechanical people, things of that nature now, robots, right? If you have a robot, right? The robot cannot function if its energetic system is depleted. It's like your phone will not turn on if that energetic source is depleted. Then you have external energetic sources, which are like batteries. Let's think of a remote. You cannot change your channel if your remote does not have an energetic source. So if I'm moving my fingers, my brain is sending an electrical current to my muscles, telling my fingers to move. So people who are, let's just say, who are considered brain dead, that electrical current isn't going through the pathways it needs to in order for the body to respond to the impulses or it's not producing them. So for those who may feel heavy daily, groggy, who are angry, or who are just overly manic and happy and can't calm themselves down, 9 times out of 10 is because their energy is either really high and it's not level or it's very low. Sleep is not the only way to recharge our energy. Sometimes we need to literally go outside and ground because the earth also pulls and pulses an electrical magnetic field, and our ancestors used to walk on the ground with no shoes. Our shoes are made of rubber. What does rubber do? Rubber stops the conduction or the intake of course, energetic currents. So if you have a live wire and you have rubber, it's going to stop that intake of that live wire or the electricity. It's important for us as energetic beings to see ourselves uh, as that android, that physical body that needs outside sources like the sun, because the sun is the largest supplier of solar powered energy. It is a fact that people who are in the sun more are happier, they are healthier because you're taking in that solar energy. So, to sum that up as well, for people who aren't aware that we are energetic beings, I say rub your hands together and then go touch somebody else. You'll feel that shock, okay? So we need to make sure we're eating our electricity too, because like foods are electrical resources as well. Live foods, raw foods, like people who eat largely processed foods, like experience, be real with yourself. Ask yourself, do you feel sleepy more often? Are you reaching for extra coffee, extra energy drinks? And it's because that's your body saying, hey, you're taking in pseudo or false energy or false fuel. And I need that life. I need that electromagnetic diet. So raw foods, get some sun, laugh often, be around people who feel electric. Like you should when you're around somebody, your smile should light up. Like you should feel like you plugged yourself into a socket. Meditate. Meditation is great. Meditation like literally reconnects you to source, reconnects you to life, reconnects you to yourself, because the deepest way to get to source or get to God is through self, to the self, because we're made in the image of self by self. So if self is me and I am self, then I have to go through myself to get to my higher self, which is of course God, God consciousness, all of those things. And if you still are not a believer, come see me. We can talk about that much deeper. I love these great conversations. I am here to learn and grow because we all can teach each other things. Oh, this is hilarious. I literally have like right next to me plants to plant in my garden so I can eat my natural foods and all of these great things. Yes. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
You created your own line of natural, homemade skincare products after more than 10 years of perfecting your
Yeah.
recipes. What inspired you to sell your
Mhm.
own line rather than just having it be something you do for yourself at home?
Yes. Okay, because my clients started to see the difference in my skin and how it was glowing, how soft it was, like my hands when I would massage them. Or this is when I was just a massage therapist and not an esthetician or nail tech. And one of my clients asked me what I was doing for my skincare. I told her that I was using products that I made at home that was specialized for, skin that was a little bit more oily, and I was perfecting different recipes for when my skin would be a little bit more dry. Maybe it was a little bit more, I needed to like buff away dead skin, so a little bit more flaky. And she asked if I could give her a sample. I gave her a sample. She came back raving about it, said she told her friends, her family, and that she demanded and needed me to start selling these products or she would no longer be my client. And I said, okay. Yeah, sometimes you have that person that's going to push you and they'll be, a little drastic and dramatic about it, but I respect that and I needed that. So I started to give out samples. I started to sell to my current clientele, and through selling to my current clientele, I started to sell to a larger audience because word of mouth spread fast. It was a demand from the clients, which helped me to start selling my product.
Where do you see Divinity Massage
Mhm.
Oasis and Spa growing
Mhm.
in the next 5 years?
Okay, so in the next 5 years, I see it becoming more of a retreat. So Divinity Massage and Oasis Spa. The name may change too. I don't know yet. I don't know. So the short name is Divinity Oasis. So Divinity Massage and Oasis Spa. I see it being grand. I see it being on acreage. I see it still being holistic, but being a source where people can still come, but in a larger scale of a retreat and having, if they're coming, they don't have to just come for an hour or a day, but they can stay with, on property for a few days and get their healing and, having different counselors and therapists, whether it's a family therapist, a relationship therapist, just different types of other wellness practitioners, holistic doctors, and all of the moving pieces that will be needed in order for Divinity Massage on Aces Spa to be a movement, a way of life. I see it being so large that I can't even fathom it. Like, there's no limit. And the more I do for the company, the more others come into the company, the more it grows. I see it been also having a fitness facility, but being a center where people can come and literally be centered to ground themselves and change their way of life. I see it sustaining a wave that changes the world in a way that I myself can't even like grasp right now.
Thank you, Sacred, for
Mhm.
coming on to Rooted and Rising.
Yes. Thank you for having me.